Thank you so much for that kind introduction. Next slide, please. So really, what I wanted to start off with, first of all, is that if you have ever heard of, the products such as search.gov, digital.gov, login.gov, FedRAMP, those are all the things that are offered by the Technology Transformation Services as part of the Technology Transformation Services ecosystem. And I am part of the Centers of Excellence, which is the advisory and delivery uh, link to our agency partners. So in my role, what I do is I work with agencies to make sure that technology implementation in the emerging tech fields such as AI is done and provides best value for the government and also improves citizen services. Next slide, please. So within the Artificial Intelligence Center of Excellence, what we do is, and our role is to accelerate IT modernization across government to improve the public experience and increase operational efficiency. To accomplish this, we partner with industry subject matter experts to solve agency problems in, specifically for this talk, AI, but we also work with industry partners in cloud adoption, contact center, customer experience, and data analytics. Next slide, please. So since the last time I presented on the the Centers of Excellence approach to artificial intelligence, we have had a new law pass as in December, the AI in Government Act of 2020. And what that did was, one, it formalized the artificial intelligence of centers, artificial intelligence of AI, artificial intelligence center of excellence within the General Services Administration to improve cohesion and competency in the adoption and use of artificial intelligence. And really what that means is some of our key duties: convening meetings with agencies, industry, labs, nonprofits, institutions of higher learning to discuss recent developments in artificial intelligence, collecting, aggregating, and publishing on a publicly available website information regarding programs, pilots, and other initiatives in artificial intelligence led by agencies, advising agencies on the acquisition and use of artificial intelligence, and assisting agencies in the management and use of data in applications of artificial intelligence. So, that's a big change, and we really need industry to engage with us so that we can provide a holistic view of the state of the market to our agency partners. Next slide, please. So, you ask us, why do we need industry? Because these are some of the common challenges I face with, when I talk to my federal partners. How do I tackle new complex problems using AI and machine learning? How do I reduce time to develop and stand up new applications? How do I use AI to help my overtapped workforce? How do I use software as a service and AI solutions to improve targeted delivery of government services? So I'm not going to do it. Industry is going to help us do this. And, the rest of the team here today will talk about how industry can engage in a formal way to help agencies do this, to include the use of schedules and other tools that GSA offers. So this is really what, the concern is within our federal agencies and where we need our industry partners to help us with. Next slide, please. Now, it's not a one size fits all into the federal government. We have a range of, maturities within agencies. Some agencies are just preparing to implement AI. Some are in the discovery process to see how AI tools would benefit them. There are other agencies that are actually engaged in proofs of concept to see how AI using their data improve citizen service. And there are other agencies that are actually scaling successful proofs of concept and pilots. So there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work out there to be done that we need industry to help with, and in all aspects of this, not just the preparation discovery, but also in conducting the proofs of concept and the scaling of efforts. Next slide, please. So, the typical use cases that we see in, that federal agencies want, and this is holistically across government, not directed to a specific federal agency. We see the need for intelligent assistants or chatbots. We see the need for predictive and proactive equipment maintenance. We see the need for customer service request automation. We see the need for fraud identification and prevention. We see the need for cybersecurity and cyber attack prevention. We see the need for automated data movement and secure transfer between systems. We see, a lot of need for simplifying regulatory and compliance reviews. But at the core of it, it's really about increasing the speed and efficiency of government, cost avoidance to government, improved response times for citizen services, and at the end, increased quality for citizen services. Next slide, please. So if you're thinking, hey, I already do a ton of these things, but how does that, help me win government business? And this is where we talk about the art of machine learning, which helps government scale the typical use cases that were done by, government employees. So if you are looking for government business in the field of machine learning, your company should have some level of expertise in supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning, which means that your company can implement recommendation systems, big data visualization, some feature elicitation, some customer retention tools, some image classification tools, some prediction tools, optimization tools, maybe even decision-making tools, robotic process automation or, automated navigation tools, some tools to segment customers for appropriate delivery of services. So this is the general area where you should have some level of competency to win work in emerging fields. Next slide, please. And what it boils down to in plain English is really what we're looking for in the government as a whole is, help with attended automation, task management, unattended automation, robotic process automation, business intelligence, and business cognition. And this work is always there, but where the work is exponentially growing is in the areas of speech synthesis and sentiment analysis, image recognition, and optical recognition, intelligent assistants that use natural language processing, some expert systems that can do concept mining, automated concept mining, and relationship mining. So if you're thinking about where to grow and where to invest, these are some good areas on where to grow and where to invest. Next slide, please. So really what we're talking about is, at the end of the day, you should have the ability to demonstrate that you can sift through enormous volumes of data and get answers, that you have, you can use tools that improve the accuracy of predictions, that you have tools that can inform fact-based decisions by finding patterns, that you have the skills to design a system that learns and adjusts to new data without explicitly being reprogrammed. So, at the end of the day, you say, how do I do that? Well, you should have some level, or you should be working towards commercial or public sector experience involving large data sets, pattern recognition, macro and micro trend analysis, some real-time decision support systems, and most critically, experience with developing and deploying bots and robotic process automation tools. That's really where the rubber meets the road. Next slide, please. So what are the takeaways? I know I've thrown a ton of information at you. One, AI is an emerging field, and you can't do everything. You can't be an expert in everything. As a small business, you will have to decide, you'll have to pick a functional path and become an expert in it to be able to win business in the federal government. Next slide. And really, the big five, you say, where do I really need to focus? I forgot everything you already told me in the last 12 slides. This is it. You should be able to, these are the big five contracting opportunities, emerging contract opportunities. Virtual assistants, physical assistants, a lot of content curation, automated content curation, mixed media recognition, which means image, sound, and sentiment. Some expert systems in not only just creating synthetic media, but being able to also detect synthetic media such as deep fakes.